The severe weather risk for today, Wednesday, December 15th, is increasing. We are now under a level 4 risk for severe weather. You see that highlighted here in red. That extends essentially from the western Iowa border all the way up to the Minnesota state line, and it does include areas like Ames and the north side of the metro. There's also a level 3 risk to account for the rest of the Des Moines area too. This is a significant upgrade from what we saw just last night because we have growing confidence in the threat for storms during the afternoon and evening today. On our severe weather threat tracker, that is a level 4 out of 5. Between 4 and 8 p.m. is when those severe storms are likely. The primary threat for storms here will be damaging winds. That means that we could see in the line of thunderstorms gusts that are 70, 75, or perhaps as high as 80 miles per hour. There is also a tornado risk, and I don't want anybody to panic and immediately start thinking about how that may play out, but there is a threat for some tornadoes to form along this line too, and that threat is greatest in northern Iowa. Let me show you that. This zone highlighted in yellow, which is a good chunk of the state, is where we could see tornado development later on. And these black lines that you see are what we call a hatched area. That's essentially where the Storm Prediction Center identifies that more significant risk for that tornado development as we go through the day. With that being said, I want you to know a little bit more about the timing of these storms. The challenge that we will face is that they are moving very rapidly. Once they fire up and develop, they will be making a race across our state. So it will be difficult to keep up with them, and that's why we are stressing so much about how important it is to pay attention, because what's happening even 50 miles from your area may get there in a short period of time. With that being said, the advantage of that is that even though it comes in very strong, it also leaves your area pretty quickly. So these will not be long-lived storms in any area, but they will be quick moving, and we all need to be on guard and ready for what's going to happen. I think they will be in western Iowa between 4 and 5 p.m., gradually shifting east and approaching areas near Highway 169 and eventually up in northwestern and north central Iowa, including Creston, Fort Dodge, even Atlantic and Audubon between 5 and 6 p.m. It approaches I-35 between 6 and 7 p.m., and that includes areas all the way north to Mason City, but Ames, the Des Moines Metro, and down to the south like Osceola and Lamoni. After 7 p.m., it'll shift into eastern Iowa, so we will still have to keep a watch on that for communities like Grinnell, Oskaloosa, Ottumwa, Newton, Marshalltown, and even Iowa Falls. So Futurecast has done a pretty solid job painting this line of storms. I think that we will have dry weather and quiet weather aside from the strong wind through at least 3 p.m. By the late afternoon, those storms will be firing up in western Iowa. Now, the Futurecast shows that it may be along the Iowa-Nebraska border close to 5 p.m. Realistically, I believe it will be a little farther to the east, and this is how quick that line moves. By 6 p.m., it is right up along I-35, and that includes Des Moines. Not only will we see very intense winds on the leading edge of this line, but I'm watching these little notches. If you think of it that way, these little divots in the line that you see, that's where we could see tornado development. That doesn't mean we will see tornadoes up and down across the state. That would be really something out there, but I do think that especially up in northern Iowa, where we will have a little bit higher shear value, we could see those tornadoes that develop. Then I do expect the line will be moving into the eastern side of our area by about 7 o'clock. So we're still watching that in Oskaloosa, Grinnell, up through Tama and down to Ottumwa and Centerville. By 8 o'clock tonight, I think it's outside of our area, so it is a quick moving thing. Now let's take a pause from storms and talk about the extreme wind that comes in too. The high wind warning that is in effect for almost the entire state, 98 out of 99 counties beginning at noon. I do expect that it will be a fairly typical windy day through about lunchtime, but then at 12 o'clock those winds will start to increase, likely gusting between 40 and 50 miles per hour, and they only strengthen. So we not only have the thunderstorms that produce winds, but we have the regular wind too. By 6 p.m., wind gusts could be 55 to 60 miles per hour. So this will further enhance the wind gusts inside of some of those thunderstorms. By the time we get to 8 o'clock, we could be seeing fairly widespread 50 to 65 mile per hour gusts across the state. And that is why for several days we've been telling you to tie down outdoor furniture, to bring down those Christmas decorations, and to secure essentially anything that you intend to keep. By tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, I do expect that it will be quieter around our state, at least a little bit. The wind will still be a bit breezy, but it won't be as strong. The final thing I want to leave you with is just some notes about that wind. It will cause difficult travel, especially for high-profile vehicles like semi-trucks and SUVs. There is the potential for power outages due to the wind, but also due to the storms. We could see damage to roofs or siding, or perhaps maybe you lose some of your shingles with the strongest wind gusts. There is the possibility, or the likelihood in some cases, of tree and limb damage, and also the issues with holiday decorations. I want to stress that our weather team will be keeping you informed throughout the day. Please download that free We Are Iowa app in the App Store or Google Play Store so you can stay in the know with the weather throughout the day. We don't say all of this to scare you or to frighten you or to put you on edge, because we know that that can happen, especially given our state's history of storms. However, we believe it's better for everybody to know what to expect and to be prepared, and I believe together we will all get through this, and then there will be some quieter weather on the backside. Stay tuned to our Facebook pages, our Twitter accounts, and of course, weareiowa.com for all the severe weather updates you need throughout the day.